Hi, my name is Gina. I'm a family educator for Early Head Start in Logan, Utah. And we've been asked to video record ourselves making an activity or two and reading a book. So I want to do today some activities that would be good for little kids, probably around maybe like 5 months up. I do have some things, these little teeny pom-poms, that could be a choking hazard. So if you decide to use the little teeny small ones, of course, always sit there with your child and watch them, or don't use them at all. We normally don't use small chokeable items in our work in the homes with the families because we don't want to be liable, obviously. So just use your caution with that. Okay, so today I'm going to do two activities. The first one is very easy. So most of this stuff you can find around your own home. And if you don't, you can go to the dollar store and find these items for very inexpensive as well. So the first thing I want to model is, or teach, is an activity that's really fun. I've used it with some of my visits before, and the children enjoy it, clear up to big kids. So a colander, basic colander, pipe cleaners, okay? So on pipe cleaners, the ends are pokey because it's sharp metal. So you want to take them and bend down the ends just a bit on both ends so that they're not going to poke little kids. But they're not a choking device normally because they can't get them in their mouth. And I just chose all the colors, right? So you can see all the colors here. So if it's an older child, you can talk about colors. You can talk about numbers and count them. You can talk about textures, obviously, because pipe cleaners are very textury. I do have some that are kind of sparkly, more Christmassy looking, but they tend to kind of flake off, the little sparkles, and I don't want a little child to choke on that. So use, again, your own discretion on that. And they also make some pipe cleaners that are super, super chubby and fluffy, I've seen, that would be really fun to use. I think they would still fit through the holes on the colander, but they would just add a little bit more chubby, fuzzy, soft texture that the little kids might enjoy. And when I've used this with little ones, they have mouthed it, put it in their mouth and suck on it because, as you know, little children love to put everything in their mouth. That's their third hand of how they perceive and understand textures and temperatures and flavors and all of that. And so if, again, you bend the ends down, which I'm doing here, I didn't know if it was showing up, just kind of pinch it a bit, bend it down really tight so the ends aren't going to be pokey. But if a child does, they just get kind of spitty. That's the worst that can happen. But little kids love to put this in their mouth because it's soft and it has a weird, funny texture because there's the core that's metal that makes it bendy, and but then the outside's soft. And so again, little children want to always put everything in their mouth to figure out how things feel, because we have our hands and our feet that are great sensory percepting appendages, but our mouth is also one that children use a lot. So yeah, so you got them all bent down, and on this, where colanders have a lot of holes, you can model it for the child and kind of show them, especially a very young child. A lot of times people wouldn't think to combine these two elements in their home. I wouldn't. I saw this idea and copied it because I'm really good at copying ideas. But it's fun because it's stuff you wouldn't think of, but little kids are intrigued by it. So you can just bend it in, right? You can see I'm just doing it simple. If you have an older child, you could teach them like how to weave it in and out, you know. And obviously this uses their fine motor skills and their cognitive to try to figure it out. And even an older child, these little teeny squares, you could say skip every other one, or every 2 holes, or every 3 holes, whatever. So you can adapt this to the age of the child. And I have used it for all different ages, and you could even make like a design on it for older children. But mainly little ones, 0 to 3, they just think it's cool to poke it in. And my colander has kind of squares. Some colanders have actual circles, round little holes. And so that's a different sensation. but just the act of poking something in and feeling kind of some resistance, you know, makes a sound a little bit when it, you know, goes to the hole. So it's fun. And then, or you can do it all for them and have them pull them back out because they like to pull them out too. And so this is a really fun activity, and they might end up, you know, putting it on their head as a hat. And that's fun too. So just use your imagination, be crazy, creative. This works really good for moms that are with their children, let's say in the kitchen. The mom's trying to prepare a meal and the child is underfoot, driving them crazy. So this is something you can put in the kitchen there when you're working on the floor with them on a blanket or something, and have them just work on this in the kitchen with you right there close by, so they can still know that you're there with them, but have fun at the same time. And again, most people have a colander in your kitchen cupboards or your drawer somewhere. So pull it out and grab some pipe cleaners, let them play. If you don't have pipe cleaners, you could also use shoelaces, yarn, if you put like some tape on the end so it's able to poke through. I don't know what else you could use, but use your imagination. A lot of times I go into the dollar store now and look through their kitchen section and see things there that would be potential toys that are inexpensive, cheap, brand new, clean, and there's all kinds of stuff you can use. So this is example A, the colander pipe cleaner activity, okay? Next one is just a juice bottle. This is just an empty orange juice bottle. Screw the lid. This is really good for kids' fine motor, and this is a big enough lid, but yet small enough that most little teeny hands would be able to grasp it. Obviously my hands are really big. But just, and it only has a couple of twists to put it on, so it's not a whole bunch, just a little twist on and off. Children love taking lids on and off of containers, whether it's a plastic lid, a twist-on lid, like a canning jar ring metal lid. So lay out on the floor sometimes with your child, sitting there with them, and model how to put lids on and off. They love it. It's fun. Okay, so this one you could teach them that. So obviously the lid. In this lid, I don't know if you can see, has some texture around it. So that kind of is cool too, for them to feel that texture. And again, if it was a little child, they're going to stick it in their mouth and want to feel the bumpy texture of the plastic. That's okay. It's all good. So on this one, I got these pom-poms. So I have some great big ones. There are medium-sized ones. I just have big ones and small ones, but big puffy ones. They're very soft. You can let them play with them. And the hole here, you can see, it's going to take some effort to put it in, but not too much. So just teach them that you just poke it in, right? And it pops down. So this could be many things besides fine motor of putting it in there, counting, again, colors, textures, cause and effect, that, you know, the pom-pom goes in and the pom-pom goes down. I can't talk. So this is fun. And littler ones, they're a lot easier, but you could still poke those in as well, dump them in, model for them again, counting, colors, patterns. You could tell them, okay, put a green one and then put a pink. Put a green, then a pink, a green and a pink. And then after a while say, okay, I put a green one, what comes next? And the child might be able to respond, oh, a pink. So you can adapt this one as well to different ages. So, and the cool thing with this, you get them all in there. And guess what? You put the lid on and your toy is set to go. You can bring it in the car, bring it somewhere. You can even get a smaller juice bottle to make it more portable, stick it in your diaper bag, whatever. Okay? You might say, but how do you get them back out? Well, that's the second part fun of this game. They have to use their little pincer grip, right? So they have to poke it in, and they do come out pretty easy. And that's a totally different action and sensation than pushing them. A lot of times they'll use their thumb. This one they've got to use their thumb and their finger. Okay, so they pull it out. Pull it out. The little ones obviously fall out. But yeah, super fun. And I've used this on many home visits, and most of the children are fascinated and intrigued by this because, again, it's something very novel that they haven't maybe been exposed to or done before. So look how simple. Dollar store package of pom-poms in a juice bottle. There you go. Okay. Another one is you can still use the same pom-poms, but a different fine motor, in that you can either, and this is just an empty hot chocolate container, right, with these bendy lids. So on this one, Sorry, my nose itches. You get a knife. Obviously, this is the parent, the adult. You don't let the child have the knife. And you can either cut a circle of different sizes. I've done that before. Or just an X. On this one, I'm just going to do an X. Okay. And you just cut it very carefully. I'm just pushing down on my carpet. It's not going to hurt my carpet, but I don't want to cut my hand, obviously. Okay. So you just cut it kind of like an X. Okay, so it can push in and out. On this one too, be careful because some little children, they'll poke the thing in and they go to draw their hand back out and it can kind of feel sharp. So use your discretion. You could even put some tape on there, bend it around the edges. But normally it's not too bad because normally they push them all in and then they just dump them out when the can's empty. Okay, so on this one, again, with your tiny little ones, with caution again, sitting there playing with them so they don't choke on them or don't use them at all, you just push it in. Okay, and this one does have a little more resistance than obviously the juice with the open lid. So you just push it in, bing! And it's fun because they can't see this one. This one's clear, so they can see it. This one they can't see. So it makes it a little bit more different, right? So you push it in, push it in. Also, you can use big ones. Oop, where'd they go? All gone. And then, children are so smart because I've had this happen many times. So funny. I'll bring this kind of activity, we'll make it. The child figures this out after a while, but then after a while they learn how to take the lid off, see that that's where they are, and then they will just leave the lid off and be like, duh, just put them in that way. Why make it hard on yourself? Just stick them in that way. So it's fun to see how fast children pick up on what you're trying to do, and they're a step ahead of you. But if you can teach them to just have patience and use this little lid and poke them through, it does use their finger muscles. Another thing you can do with this, it could be a drum, different sounds. You can decorate it because it's just, you know, it's kind of cute. But if you don't want it to look like something, you know, from the recycling bin, you can jazz it up. Here I've got some tape. So you can, you know, put your tape around it. All cute. You can put contact paper. You can put stickers and let the children help with that. Children love stickers. Oh wow, that worked out really good. Well, almost. There's a small gap. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that's the cool thing with recycled object toys. They aren't meant to look perfect unless you want to. They're temporary toys usually because it's stuff you put in the recycling anywho. But just have fun with it. And so you could continue and do tape around it, stickers, what have you. Just again with tape or stickers, children like to see if they have an edge, they want to pick at it and peel it off because it's very intriguing. So again, just make sure they don't choke. Always be aware with small children of the choking hazards of life. They're all around us. Okay, so that's another idea. I think that was the only three. So the colander, the clear, the little can. Those are some good ideas that children, small ones love especially, but even I've had older children really, really get a kick out of them. It's fun. It's relaxing. The cool thing too is with little ones nowadays, they're exposed to so many high-tech toys, batteries up to, you know, tablets, that when you have a very low-tech toy, I think it intrigues them because it's so not common for them, and it's something they haven't done before or seen, and so it does hold their attention. It's really fun. So that's the toys. This is the books. So there are a lot of books. Here's one example. Where's Walrus? This is another one. The Girl and the Bicycle. These are just two of many kinds that have no words. They're pictures. So for example, this one you can see has pictures. It tells a very, very cute, darling story of a little girl wanting to get a bicycle, and I won't give away the punchline. No picture, or I mean no words. Pictures, but no words. This one also super, super cute. It uses very bright, colorful graphics and pictures. Details, so the child has to really look at it with the parent, and the parent, very subtle detail, like look how cute, the walrus is winking. This is a really cute story. So the cool thing is just by looking at the pictures with the child and taking your time, you can tell the story in your own words. There's many different ways to tell the story, not just one. But they're really fun to read with small children because you don't feel obligated to read the words. and it's open-ended. So with older children too, if they've read it before, or even if they haven't, they can go by what the pictures are showing and tell their own story. So I love books like that with no words. And so today I'll read a story. I like to kind of modulate my voice, make it kind of sound funny, silly, whatever. I'm going to read one that was my own children's favorite, The Foot Book by Dr. Seuss. My children love this book so much that I think we went through 2 or 3 of them. I have 4 daughters, and they loved it. They would read it so much it broke, had to be, taped, the pages. And with that said, many parents are concerned that their child, when they read books to them, sometimes the child will fixate just on one book, one story, and want to read it all the time, every day. And the parents worry that, well, we want to, expand our horizons. How come we have the same book every time? And we're taught as educators to tell them that's perfectly fine. Don't worry. It just shows that the child loves the book. They love the predictability, that they know the story so well that they could tell it back to you. And children, just like us, find a lot of pleasure and joy in when you know something well and are good at it. You want to keep doing it over and over, right? So keep reading the children's books that they love the most. Keep on reading them. Of course, bring in new ones, try out new ones, go to your library, buy them, rent them, whatever. But keep on doing their favorite stories, because that's priceless. Like with my children, this was one of their most favorite books that we ever read, for whatever reason. And some books will catch a kid's attention, some books not. It just depends. But don't be afraid and don't worry then if the kids like the same book. That's just how it is. And so I'm sure it's very flattering to the author too, to know that children like their books so much. So that's one, and this is another classic, The Little Red Hen. Like, who doesn't love this story? So this is one of the golden books. I just grabbed them from my bookshelf today. It does have words. It might be a little wordy for small ones. So again, you can just go by the pictures and tell in your own words. Obviously as a mother and as an educator ourselves, we are supposed to read through it so we're familiar with it. And then you can tell in your own words. Ask the child what's going to come next. What do you think is going to happen? Make it very interactive with the child when you read. Don't just sit down and, yeah, once upon a time, da da da. Children get so bored with that. They want to hear your voice be silly. They want to have you point out detail. Where are the bees? How many dragonflies are in there? Do you know what these flowers are called? These are called hollyhocks. What color are the hollyhocks? Like, make it very, very descriptive. Why do you think this guy has a pan on his head? What is this? Oh my goodness, it's a sword. Can you tell what the sword's made out of? Maybe it's wood. I don't know. Like, really draw the child into the book. Make it really silly, goofy, fun. And don't rush. I think some parents want to rush through a book and say, oh, we read. Take your time. Take your time. Book reading is, we've been told, and I do believe it from my own experience with my children and growing up with my mother, it's one of the most precious things you can do with your children and the most important. Because besides bonding, attachment, time, and put your child on your lap. Have them close to you, with you. There's a spider. How funny. There's a spider in my house. Ew, I just killed it. Don't rush books. It's important for bonding, attachment, like I was saying before the spider interrupted me. Language, obviously. Humor, vocabulary, fine motor. Let the child, when they're old enough, help turn the pages. Put your fingers on the actual words, even from early on, to let that child know that those little marks that don't make sense will in time make sense as they get older, obviously, and they'll realize you're reading, and it helps connect the dots in their mind. Teach them the proper position. Don't read a book like this normally. It's called book etiquette. Right side up, tell them who the author is, the illustrator, page by page, and also treat them respect. You don't rip a book, you don't bite a book, suck on a book, tear the book, draw on the book. You treat it with respect so that you have that book for many, many years to come to enjoy, and especially if it's not your own, if it's the library's, it doesn't belong to us, so you have to take care of it. So those are all very, very important things you can teach a child with a book. So here I go. I'm going to read The Foot Book by Dr. Seuss. And this one belongs to Head Start, but it's been loved. I love seeing a book with some wear and tear. That means somebody loved it. Even someone's done their own artwork in it. Check it out. Children's drawings. Precious. So here we go. Pretend like I had a child in my lap. The Foot Book by Dr. Seuss. Let's see if you can see it and I can read it at the same time. There we go. Left foot, right foot, right. Feet in the morning, feet at night. Left foot, right. Wet foot, dry foot. Low foot, high foot. Front feet, back feet. Red feet, black feet. Left foot, right foot, feet, feet, feet. How many, many feet you meet. Slow feet, quick feet. Trick feet, sick feet. My kids used to always get so sad when they saw this one. They almost started crying. Mom, is he going to be okay? Up feet, down feet. Here come clown feet. Small feet, big feet. Here come pig feet. Of course, you got to do a pig sound effect. His feet, her feet, fuzzy fur feet. So you can see, I'm going to interject something, how many things Dr. Seuss teaches. Like he was a genius. Obviously rhyming, obviously silly, awesome, funny pictures. But look at all the cool things. Colors up and down, big, small, male, female. So he's incorporating a lot of cool things in just one book that you could draw upon to teach your kids many things. Pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Back to the story. In the house and on the street, how many, many feet you meet. Up in the air feet. And I used to do this with my kids. I used to do this with my finger. And you could even teach them, that's the letter Y. He's making a Y with his feet. Like, just so many things. Over a chair feet. More and more feet. 24 feet. Obviously counting. Here come more and more and more feet. Left foot, right foot, feet, feet, feet. Oh, how many feet you meet. The end. Cool. So my kids love that story. I kind of have it memorized myself. Anyway, one of many, 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 many beautiful books out there. Like read with your kids. And Dr. Seuss, he was a genius. Have fun with it. You don't have to be serious. Kids don't judge, usually. They love the sillier you are, the better. And just show them that you love books. And they'll watch and model how you take care of them and treat them as well. So that's my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care and have a great day. Bye.